Good afternoon. It is December the 30th. Still 2025, but not for too much longer. It's a very mild day. It's -3. It was up around 0 at one point, so quite nice. Although we did have some freezing rain last night, but then again, it melted probably when it warmed up today, so I'm hoping that I won't run into too much slipperiness here. Just thought I'd do a little walk along a bit of the creek. Not a very long walk, but maybe half an hour or so. We'll see how it goes. Probably could have just worn my leather jacket today, but I'm wearing my parka because it's sort of like once it gets to winter, it's easier to just wear the same coat every day, even if it warms up. Not looking too frigid for the next couple of weeks, actually. Below freezing, but not too far below freezing. So, by our standards, that's very mild for the beginning of January. It's a little earlier than I walked yesterday, so the sun's not quite as low. Oof, oof, oof. Still keeping a careful watch on the footing here. Did some publishing work this morning. Put out a new newsletter for Chautauqua Press, sort of looking ahead to the books I'll be publishing in 2026. We're going to a wine and appetizer get together a little bit later this afternoon. Not doing anything too exciting for New Year's Eve. Going out to a dinner, but it's not really a stay up till midnight at the dinner thing. It's just dinner, and then we'll probably come home and watch the ball fall in New York, and that's about it. Go to bed. I remember when I was a kid, staying up till midnight seemed so exotic, and now I do it all the time. It's like I'd rather not, really. I'm sleepy. We'll walk over here to Cameron Street and go up onto the dike on this side of the river, I think is my plan. Great sunny day, a few clouds. Drank way too much coffee today, I know that. There's Robinson. It's a nice house. Like to see the inside of it someday, but never been invited to. One of the newer houses in the neighborhood. Those are one of the older, that strip of row houses there, built in 1913, so well over 100 years old. 112, going on 13 years, to be precise. Our house will be 100 years old in the new year, sometime in the new year, probably in the summer, probably when it was completed. Back in 1926. We're going to have a 100th year birthday party for the house, I think. Nicely illuminated this time of day. It's called Henderson Terrace. I don't know who Henderson was. Okay, so apparently I've been talking to myself. Thanks for letting me know that. It looks like the microphone battery died. I don't know how far into the walk that happened, if there was any sound of me talking, but I didn't say anything important. So other than, look, it's almost New Year's and it's a beautiful day. And it's only -3 today, so quite mild. You're saying it looks cold, but it's actually not that cold. About 26 Fahrenheit. Well, that's what happens when you type without your reading glasses on. Obviously, I missed the 0 and hit a 9 instead. I'll change that when it goes onto YouTube to stay. Yes, the microphone battery must have died, and I didn't know it. I thought about it possibly needing charging, but I was hoping it didn't. But hope gets you nowhere. Hopefully there was some sound off the beginning, and it died somewhere along the way. You get more ambient sound just using the phone, but you don't hear me as well. And if there's any wind, it can be hard to hear anything, but it's actually very still today, so that shouldn't be a problem. Hello. See the moon up there in the sky if you look close. It's a big house. Lots of windows. Lots of windows. If you don't want all those windows, it's a lot of windows. Oh, they're tobogganing over here too. This is a somewhat gentler slope, so probably littler kids over here, looks like. Not as crowded, and also you don't have people coming from various directions. In the bowl, you can have people launching from right angles and potentially running into each other. Here, you don't get that. There's also a playground over there. I'll walk over to Elphinstone and then work my way back from there. Probably just down College, so it won't be a very long walk. How long has this been so far? 12 minutes or so? 15? Yeah, so it'll be about half an hour, all said and done. So Elphinstone over there, where you see the traffic going by. See how long my shadow is. As the sun gets lower and lower. Even though the days are getting longer, you don't notice it much for a while, that's for sure. I don't believe I've seen anybody with a dog. That's unusual. I usually say no matter what time of the day you walk, you'll encounter somebody with a dog. I don't think I've seen one. Not yet. Last time I walked along the creek, I was on that side and the path was so icy, I really didn't like it. Although it's probably better now than it was. I've sanded this one at some point. And just the fact it's so much closer to freezing softens everything up and makes it less icy and more, not exactly slicey, but at least semi-slicey or slightly melted, or however you want to think of that. Some people have been walking on the ice. You can see there are tracks down there. There's occasionally been a impromptu skating rink here, but I think the city discourages that. Well, since this is cleared, maybe I'll go down here instead of going to Elphinstone itself. Looks a little steeper than I want to risk. So I don't know how slippery it is. I'll stick to the roads and the sidewalks. Oh, there's a dog. See? I knew we'd see at least one. Elphinstone Street Bridge. Hello. I was just saying I hadn't seen a dog yet.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, this is your first then.
I never do a walk without seeing at least one. Happy New Year. So you can see how warm it was by how brown and melty the road is, which is better than cold and icy. Of course, when it freezes, it gets icy, but so you get a few days this close to freezing, it'll melt off quite well and clear up quite a bit. The Seniors Citizens Center, and further over there is the Neil Balkwell Civic Arts Center. We can take art classes. Yes, there's always at least one. It may be the only one I see, but again, I didn't do a walk without seeing at least one. Cats are much less likely to be seen, although I do occasionally. Squirrels are fairly common. If you walk in the parks, geese are very common. Okay. Now we're on Cottage Avenue. I'll just walk down here to our crescent, Angus Crescent, and back to the house. College Avenue, I guess, because it goes by Regina College, as it was originally. Now the college building for the University of Regina overall. I should have just put on my leather jacket. I'm getting quite warm in my parka. There's the moon again up there. Funny, it hasn't really moved much. Or rather, of course, to be completely pedantic, we haven't moved much. Haven't rotated enough to make much difference. At some point during the winter, they come and pick up the snow that's been piled up by the plows on the edges of roads, but priority is always the main roads, Elphinstone and Albert Street, Broad Street. This one is not as major as it might be because it's designed not to let you go straight through in order to slow down traffic by the school. So if you go to Albert Street on this one, you can only turn left or right. You can't go straight across like you used to be able to. I think even before I moved to Regina, that was. I'm gonna take off my hat, I'm so warm. It's a nice house too, larger than it initially looks when you see how far it goes over the garage and so forth. It's probably been expanded over the years. This one's being expanded now, it looks like. It's actually a new house, but they did a good job of making it look like the older style houses in the neighborhood. They appear to be putting an extension on it. So that's where we came from, the creek's down there. Toward the creek. That's the street I used to live on, Garnet Street. Almost 20 years ago now, almost 30 years ago now, I should say. Moved away from there in '97 when I got married, so 29 years, I guess. '27 will be our 30th wedding anniversary. And coming up to my cousin, Angus. As you can see on the sign. I'll walk down this side since the cars are on the other side. Happy New Year to you too, regenerative one. I hope to increase the number of walks in the new year. That my ankle seems to be almost 100%. Not quite. I still feel twinges and things like that, but very, very much better than it was when it was broken. Someday soon I'll get around the lake for the first time in forever. Remind me to plug in the microphone when I get home, so next time I don't have to rely on the ambient sound. iPhone obviously is much less focused when you're just using the iPhone. Although I guess it's the first time I've done it with the iPhone 17. Maybe it's better. I don't know. Speaking of squirrels, I see one now. Yep, there he goes. He decided I'm far enough away he doesn't have to run away from me, I think. Cleats on the heels of these Nexi grip boots, scraping on the bare pavement there. Okay, we'll stop at this intersection up here. So almost done. Corner of Italic here at Angus Crescent. And if you'd like to buy a lot to build a house, the lot on the corner is empty. Okay, that's it. Thanks for walking with me. I don't know when I'll be back. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But in any event,